There's an ongoing conversation online. I needed to changia, I needed to add my voice to it, as a lot of people have. Marriage, Hubamba Ma. So let me pack up. I've just come off moderating an event, very exciting one. So I'm just packing up my bag, and I just thought, you know what? This conversation has elicited so many reactions. I don't think it's about marriage alone. I don't think it's about that opinion. I think it's more about choice. It's more about the choices people make, and when they say them out loud, if it's not a choice that we share, if the person disagrees with the statement, it's very polarizing, it's very divisive, and people then don't know how to agree to disagree respectfully. What happens then is a lot of pushback, nasty comments, nastiness, and I really like to think about how the human mind operates, how our emotions get triggered by the fact that because somebody said something that I don't agree with, I was so mad. I'm going to grab a coffee and come back and talk about how this is beyond marriage. This is about the choice to have a family or not. This is about the choice to live in your country or not, the choice to hustle or not, and why these choices are often so polarizing. What does that say about us? Because it says something about us, not the choice. Let me get some coffee. And then see, coffee mandazi. Shout out to Martin. Thank you. So yeah, I think it says more about us than the choice. Because think about it, in some rooms, a certain choice is celebrated. Somebody saying, I'm choosing not to have children because I'm pursuing my career. In a certain room, somebody's like, yay. Say it in another room, I'm choosing not to have children because of my career, Matusi. Why are you doing that? What kind of person are you? Why are you prioritizing the wrong thing? So it's really not about the choice. It's about how we tend to feel invalidated when a choice that we made is seen differently by somebody else. Maybe it makes us question, did I make the wrong choice by choosing? In this case, the video that really went far is marriage. Or maybe you're offended because it's something to do with your faith, it's something to do with your belief system, your value system. But the two things I want to say is people are always going to make a choice that is going to make us uncomfortable. As Janet, I've had to come to terms with several things. Number one, a lot of the things that I thought are the choices I would make have evolved over time. I thought I would make a choice to stay in a certain situation because it was the right thing to do, because it's how I was raised, because it's what I believed in. And then life pivots, and then I began to reevaluate my choices. Do I have to make a choice to stay at a job or in a space that is not serving me in this season, that is actually harmful to me, despite what people will say? And even me making that choice came with both applause and judgment. Where I am now is there's a heightened level of acceptance and tolerance because life is not linear. And choices are not linear. And you cannot understand why somebody made a certain choice to defend a certain statement or to say something vis-a-vis somebody who didn't. But here's the trap, though. We are not good at disagreeing. We turn disagreement into disrespect. Right now, the world is on edge. People are disrespecting. They're not disagreeing. And I feel like that is not sustainable. So here's the thing. You have to make peace with the fact that choices will be made that have nothing to do with how you see the world. How you respond and react, I think, is what sustains you in this life. Are you going to stay mad? Are you going to be sad? Are you going to be offended? Are you going to... There's a saying we say on Fixing the Nation with Eric and Mariam, weka kwa kifua, do ukipumua inatoka, so that you don't hold on to it. And I had to take that seriously. I had to stop taking people's choices so personally. I had to say, I can't believe that person made such a choice. I can't believe they said that. Sometimes I would stay offended for a period of time. Now, if I feel like it disagrees intrinsically with my value set, naiweka kwa kifua, napumua, inatoka. I leave it. Because tomorrow I'm going to wake up and be triggered by somebody else's choice. So every day you're going to wake up and be offended and disrespected. So what is it for you guys that, in the case of marriage Hubamba Ma, what is it that triggered you? Was it the statement? Was it the language? Was it the choice? Was it just who you are? And with everything else, talk about a choice you've made that was applauded and a choice you made that was disregarded or invalidated. Why? Do we interrogate why we react to people's choices the way we do? And do we interrogate why we disrespect instead of disagree? Because I think if we continue that way, it's not sustainable. I've not even taken my coffee. Cheers. Here's the thing. I think freedom without respect is chaos. And I think we're better than that. So the next time somebody disagrees with whether or not you want a choice to have children or not, whether you're a person of faith or not, whether you are somebody who's choosing to hustle or stay home, whether you're choosing to build yourself above your career, the next time somebody says it out loud, maybe ask yourself, am I upset about this? Does it unsettle me because it challenges what I view about what is right and wrong in life? Or is it just making me question other things? Let's take an example of food. Let's say somebody is vegan, and then somebody else is vegetarian, somebody else doesn't eat meat, somebody fasts for religious reasons, somebody eats freely. Now, if you're vegan and your neighbor is grilling nyama choma every weekend, it doesn't make any of you foolish. It just makes you different. That's the point about all this. But I do wonder why we hold space for something like that, but we can't do the same for life's bigger decisions. Why is that the case? Why is it that a decision that is still based on different opinions and choices, such as how I decide to be vegan and how you decide to grill nyama choma every weekend, we can agree to disagree because you do you, I do me. But when it comes to bigger life decisions about commitment, about career, about whatever it is, these big life commitments, we know what they are. Why can't we hold the same space as the way we do for our neighbor who's deciding that he's going to keep grilling while you're a vegan and everybody is okay? That's what makes me wonder. And so then it leads me to say there's several other choices, big, small, but all of them equally are a choice. How are we holding space for each other in our differences? So I think we need to see disagreeing as wisdom, not weakness, because I feel like having to defend strongly your opinion, sometimes it comes to the sense of wanting to make sure you don't come across as weak. But sometimes there's a pause where you can ask yourself, am I unsettled? Does this opinion unsettle me, or do I just disagree with it? Because that pause you make to ask yourself that question, I think that's where growth lives. I had to take those pauses so many times. Over the last 5 years, I have had to pause and pause. Do I go back to work? Does it make me look like a bad mom? Am I a good mom if I'm staying home, or am I a good mom if I'm working? Those are the places where I've had to pause and ask myself questions about the choices I'm making, regardless of who they offend, because the growth came from the fact that it was a choice that worked for me at the time, and those choices will evolve as lives and opinions do. So, as to whether marriage, Hubamba Ma, I don't agree that it's foolish. I also don't agree that singleness is foolish. I think what's wild is thinking that your way is the only way. It isn't. And so if there's anything we can take from this, is that we can agree respectfully, and we can hold space for people's choices and opinions, no matter how much they are an affront to our own. The world we're living in right now, the way it's growing, the way it's evolving, the way the conversations are shifting and shaping, yes, there is a lot of vitriol happening right now because some people are feeling very defensive about their values and other people are feeling defensive about their freedom of choice. But we can hold space for each other. That pause, that's where the growth is. It's official with Janet Bogwa. Let me know what choices you've made that have offended or applauded, and how you hold space to allow yourself to agree to disagree without being disrespectful. Cheers.